Well, in this episode of Pugliese Speed Shop, we're on location, and we even got a familiar face from, I don't know, how many episodes ago?
I think it was like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah. He's back. All right, guys. So, like I said, got my brother Joe back in action here,
Hi.
and his 2001
What?
Harley Road King. Obviously, beautiful motorcycle, and this happens every time I video it. It looks blue on the camera, but it's like, I swear it's 57 Chevy green. I think that should be an official color. It really should. And you see it's all chromed out. It's got all sorts of work done to it. I don't even know where to start. We put the bars on it and some new cables and all that kind of thing. It's a little dirty. He's up here in PA, and so the white walls aren't as bling as they usually are. But that's okay, because we gotta get it running first, huh?
Yeah. We have a good brotherly relationship. I break things, he fixes them.
Yeah. Hopefully we can. No, hopefully we'll get her going. Hopefully he stops breaking things so I can stop fixing them. But we're gonna figure it out. So it cranks and just doesn't fire up, right?
Yep.
So,
It'll crank, and no fuel.
all right, so we're gonna take off the saddlebag there, take off this guy here, and see what's going on. See if we can find. Actually, I think it's on the other side, isn't it?
Yep. Fuel panel's on this side.
Yeah. I had a 50-50 shot and I blew it. All right, so we're going to take off this saddlebag and this cover and see what's going on with some relays and fuses. And easiest place to start is right there. And I guess we'll pop the seat off and put the battery in, huh?
Yep.
All right, we're going to do that, and then we'll come back and see what's going on. All right, so in typical Pugliese Speed Shop fashion, we took off the bag and the seat, and you can see right there the relays and fuses. So we figured, let's start changing out chrome parts. Because, why not? Right, Joe?
Yeah. I had it apart.
Yep. So, see here on the other side, you got this, the older bikes, or some of the fancier ones, have this chrome that come around here. And to get to where you gotta take this off, it's all in the way. And that's the one thing that his old lady don't like about the bike, because when she rides on it, then here rubs her leg, and not the most comfortable thing. So, because Joe's being a caring husband that he is,
I also don't like the way it looks.
you ruined it. We had you going good, guy. So you take off, where is it at? This big chrome piece right here. That comes off. You replace with this little guy. So you still got the right amount of support for the bag. And then you watch a bear wrestle it into submission. Isn't that right, Joe?
That's how it works.
So we'll get this here done, and then we're going to see what's going on with we got the battery and the charger, right? So that'll be all good to go. And we'll see what's going on with the lack of starting. All right, guys, so we're back. See, we got that on there. And matching on the other side. So, got rid of the extra chrome, because as you can see, this bike really doesn't need any more chrome. So it'll kind of sleek out the back. His chick will be a little happier, so her legs aren't getting jacked up, and it looks better. All right. Now to the task at hand. Let's make it run. So, got the battery charged up, put it in there, and this is what we're working with. Turn it on. Make sure it's in neutral.
I did that the first day I got it, almost dropped it.
Run, and there's nothing. You usually hear like a bzzz. So it cranks, doesn't start. So went through looking for the fuel pump relay, which they seem to be hiding on us. I don't know why. We're gonna find it, but just to be sure, before we kept chasing our tail, ran a test to make sure. So here's you got this wires here. You got this one here. This is a 2-wire connector. Goes up to your fuel gauge. The single wire connector is for your fuel pump, which is in the tank. So we turned everything on, checked for 12 volts there. We didn't have it. So then to make sure the fuel pump's good, we ran a jumper from the wire going up to the tank, because that's where the pump is. And we stick it on there. You guys hear that?
We got fuel.
Fuel pump works, so everything up here is good to go. Something in this region here, to include that guy, not so much. So we were under the impression that the fuel pump relay was right here with the start relay and the brake relay. There you go. It's not. So we're going to play a little Where's Waldo and try and find this relay. And we'll bring you guys back when we find it.
We will find it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, it's the next day, and we had to call it quits and head up to the upstairs here because there was food and cheesecake. And I'm sure you guys know neither one of us are the type of guy to turn down some cheesecake. So we did that, and this morning Joe went over and got a new relay. So we're hoping that's it. We believe we have pinpointed where it's at. It's looking like it's right here on the under the left side cover. No, that's the right. Yeah, the right side cover. So, which is weird because every book says otherwise, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, you got it right there.
Made in Italy.
Huh?
Made in Italy. That's kind of weird.
Well, you know, that's how you know it's good. So,
it's the first electrical component I've ever bought that was made in Italy before. But...
you know, it's us Italians. We're not really known for our electronic parts, but
food, yes.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and we'll check it out and bring you guys back in a minute. All right, guys. So we got a lot of balls in the air here. As you can see, we got this area here taken apart and some other stuff. So, like we pointed out yesterday, we jumped this wire here, and the fuel pump kicked on, so we know that's good. So here's the relay for the fuel pump, and we swapped it out, no change. Got to reading wires and everything else, reading this plug out, and looks like we lost the ground here. We're getting power where we should, but we lost ground here. So we made a ground, slaved that in, and that's the fuel pump kicking on. Problem is, it doesn't kick off, and it's obviously getting fuel, but not starting. So switches up here are all working as they should. Fuel pump's working with this makeshift ground. However, it's not working as it should, because it should, fill it up here and then cut where it just keeps on going, keeps pumping fuel. So we're not getting the relay is not having a chance to work right because it should be cutting off the ground. It's not doing any of that stuff. And sounds like we're not getting sparked now. So that's why he looks like that. But going through the troubleshooting tree, points to this guy. ECM, which, you know, the overall brains, computer of the whole thing, it's not cheap.
That's why I look like this.
That's exactly why he still looks like that. So we'll do some looking around for it. We're not going to get it tonight, and I'm leaving in the morning or sometime tomorrow. So what we're going to do is going to put this back how it was. We got an idea of where to go with it, so he can do the rest of the research he's got to do. In the meantime, we got front brakes and back brakes to put on this thing. And we get to try out this new jack that he got too. So we're going to do that this way. One, we get some things accomplished and he can pass inspection. And two, we're kind of at a dead end without an ECM disabling or something, which is why he looks like that. All right, so we're going to put this back together, and then we'll bring you guys back when we're doing the brakes.
It does sound amazing when it runs.
I do have a video of it, and I'll put a clip in.
Okay.
All right. All right, so a little change to the plan. We just realized there's more cheesecake upstairs.
I can use a slice.
Yeah, you know, he's going to drown his sorrows a little bit, and we're going to pick up tomorrow, just knock these brakes out, and take a little time to see if we can figure anything else out as far as more troubleshooting before we go and just spend the money for the part or, you know, scan for codes or that kind of thing. I know there's ways you can on the newer bikes. You can kind of like trick the odometer to do that kind of thing. This might be a little bit too old, but we'll see if we can figure it out. If we figure it out, you guys will definitely know because we're about to tell you about it. Isn't that right?
Kevin, there's a smell coming from the bike. I don't know what it could be. Can you help me out here, Kevin?
I'm sure Kevin knows what it is. All right, guys, day 3 now. Shouldn't be day 3. We keep getting food put in our faces, and what are you gonna do?
And surprise, we start later than we want to.
That's a shocker. Time management. We got to get better. But yes, there it is. Just gonna finish up with this guy here. We're gonna put the brakes on it, and he's taking off a couple extra chrome pieces because, well, you know, sometimes you can't have too much. Spin you guys around, let you see what we're talking about. So, like you guys already know, we replaced this little guy. Well, we replaced the one that came up and up to here. It was like that with this guy. So now his bag will hide all that. And you're gonna pull this guy off the old highway pegs. He's not a big fan of them, doesn't ever use them. I don't have them on mine either, so I get that. And he's already taken it off the other side, so you can see it definitely just cleans it up. A little more sleek of a look. It's not as much going on. Now you got to picture it with the bags and the seat and stuff on, but yeah, definitely looks a lot better. So he'll pull the other one off. Then we'll throw it up on the jack and
do some brakes.
Yeah. Are you going hunting after this or?
No, it's this way as I'm seeing as I'm pushing the motorcycle places.
Okay.
Since it doesn't run.
Yeah, safety first, right? Or third or whatever it is.
Safety third.
That's it. Sounds good. But guys, like we said, we got this guy off here. It's got a little marks there. He'll buff that out. It'll be good to go. Chrome still looks all good. Now he's pulling the caliper off. Just 2 bolts. Caliper comes off.
Disconnect that line.
No, just this one. It's kind of twists out of there somehow. Forget how I did it. Is it off on the backside?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hitting the fender.
All right, so we cut there for a minute, and the This guy did come right out, just a little bit of finesse, yeah. Kevin's always talking about that, and this guy's a little bit of a bull in a Chinese shop. So, dropped the camera, helped him out. Now he sees how it comes out, and we'll show you how we put it back in. Because we're not going to be changing this, because I knew it. We both knew it. Those things are pretty much brand new, and because I mean they're the exact same thickness as the pad we'd replace it with. So
it's a little loose, but not enough for inspection.
No, way enough for inspection. That's what those little grooves there are for. And I knew when he had bought the bike, we did the fronts but not the backs, and so we definitely need to do the back. And we'll just return those ones there and put them towards put that cash towards something in this region right here to make it go vroom vroom. So we'll throw this back on, and we'll show you how we do it, so you see how it kind of slides in. And, well, Joey over here is going to use some finesse.
I forget which.
Which one's what?
Top or bottom, one's short, one's long.
Well,
I'm looking at this here. Okay.
pretty easy to figure out.
So I said, I'm
Yep.
looking at it.
Once you look at it, you'll know. No pressure, dude. There's like 7 people watching you right now. Maybe 8. See? Fits in there. It's a nice little tight design, so it looks clean and all that. Just don't pull it back and slam it off of the fender, because you know it'll scratch it. That'll happen. There's right in place there. He's still getting used to working on it on the lift here. So it's
It's nerve-wracking because this paint is expensive.
yeah. I know.
Ask me how I know.
Yep.
Okay, I guess wrong. I guessed wrong.
Well, that's how you figured it out. You got it? There she is. Pretty sure you guys can figure the rest out by now. Yeah, he figured it out, so. I'm not going to say if he figured it out, anybody can, but.
Put a system down here, I'll show you what I can figure out.
I'm going to stop recording before he starts cursing at me. So as you guys can tell, there's a lot of extra covers on the Road King Special, mainly chrome. You got like here on the forks and all this. I mean, it's bling, you know. So the first step in doing a rear brake is take the master cylinder cover off. But he's got a cover on his cover. It's all chromed out. So that's step 1. So he's going to work on that. And then we'll come back here. And it looks like you got to take the whole wheel off. As a matter of fact, almost 3 years ago when you bought it, we didn't do the rear brake because it was still good. We had the pads. They're still sitting here from a couple years ago. Well, they weren't sitting there the whole time, but you guys get it. So I looked at it and was like, we're going to pull the whole wheel off. It was still in spec. We're going to leave it. So last year you got inspected and the guy said, hey man, you're at the end of the rope. So, all right. So for this year we're going to put a new one on. And we watched a YouTube video, so, you know, pretty much experts, right dude?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So basically you take these 2 pins out right here and slide them out and you can spin the wheel and the pads come out and you put the new ones and you roll it back in. So this way you don't got to take this whole 1-piece caliper off, which the only way to take that 1-piece caliper off is take the whole wheel off. So we'll show you a little more as we get into it. He's just pulling that cover off still. And yeah. He's got the cover for the cover off. Is there another cover?
No, there's not another cover, but if you look under here,
Hmm.
the only possible way you will ever see this chrome plate that the guy before me put on is if you're in the position I'm in right
There
now.
you go. That's good that he put that on. So if you're ever laying down next to the bike, you know
I got a lot of chrome on
that
it.
thing's chromed out, yo. All right, so he took off his cover and his cover's cover. I just checked in there. Fluid's a little low, but that makes sense since how. And these brake pads in the back, but it's clean, so that's good. But you let the pressure out over here, and now he's in over here, dropping some stuff, some things. It's okay. You see, he's got the screwdriver in there, and the idea is kind of come in there with the screwdriver, twist it a little bit, and force that caliper to kind of come in, that piston to come in. He just gave me the look where he'd like me to hold that screwdriver and do that.
Oh,
So,
I giving you the look of doesn't look like any pads back here either.
really?
Take a look at them.
Well, I didn't mic him out. Did you say the inspection guy?
Yeah.
That looks on camera here. That looks pretty damn
Looking
new.
at that, that looks pretty good.
You're not supposed to say "God" on the YouTubes.
Andrew, Bob, whatever you call the kid, he could definitely edit the.
Oh man, this guy. So that does look as like it's all right. But, huh? Who said you needed pads?
I mean, the guy that inspects the bike. Maybe that's why they're spongy. They're just a little low on fluid when they did them last time, and
Did he pull it and inspect it, or did he actually look at the thing?
I don't think they pulled the wheel off and inspected it.
So this is one of those things. You know what thing I'm going to tell you about, right?
Hmm.
Well, it's good to do your own maintenance and look at your stuff, because as much as mechanics don't want to rob you, and I hate to say it, not to, I don't want to say rob you because that's not the right term, but you need to be familiar with your stuff, so you know what they're telling you. You know, you're not going to be a professional, but you got to be familiar with your stuff, so you know you're not getting taken advantage of. I think that's the takeaway here, huh?
Seems it.
All right, we'll take a closer look at this and bring you guys back, let you know what we found out. So we talked about it and decided we already had it taken apart, and I think it was a good call because these looked a lot better in the bike. You can see they're actually are pretty thin. The groove in the center is gone. Had some heat on them a time or two, so yeah. Then we'll put these guys on. You can see a big difference there. So, good call. They slid right out like I said, and now we're going to slide them back in. So we put it all back together, just to give an idea. And of course, he couldn't help it. Just a quick little, knock the dust off of her, just get a little shine going. But you can see how it looks a lot cleaner right in here. And then cleans up that crash bar too with the highway pegs that he wasn't even using on there, so it just makes sense to take them off. And what else? You said you put those mirrors on too, right? So
The mirrors, so I can actually see behind me.
seeing behind you, a good thing.
The other ones looked cool, but couldn't see shit. Oh,
So, you guys a good look at what's going on here. So she's not running right now. Brakes are all good all the way around it. Tires are good, all that kind of stuff. It's going to pass inspection, no problem at all, once we get it running. And then you got some LED lights for the front. You got the headlight, and then these. I got this. Little marker lights, or what do you call those lights? Fog lights.
oh wait.
Highway lights. Excuse me, Road King stuff. So, yeah.
Sarah, when you're doing a clip of it running, you said you'll see that the seat is different, the bars are different.
Yes,
And
you've
then
done.
everything else was just taking things off that I thought was too much.
Yeah, so you've done a lot to it. There was a lot done to it, and you got to personalize it. And sometimes people go a little crazy with some chrome stuff, and you got to just make it your own. So that's it, guys. That's all we're gonna be doing for it today. So it works out here. Come on, just one more thing. Make sure it is in neutral. See that? That's what that means. And, what were you looking for? Walk around here. I think it's got some cams in there. I'm not sure, huh? So hopefully you guys like this on location edition of Pugliese Speed Shop, where we got to mess with my brother's 01 Road King, and we didn't get it running, but we troubleshot the problem down to the ECM. We don't want to just jump the gun on the ECM because it's about $1,000. So he's got a buddy that's actual certified Harley mechanic, not some hack in the garage. So he's gonna have him get a look at it, get that second opinion. If that's what's wrong with it, then he'll throw it at it, and we'll take care of it that way. So either way, you're gonna see this bike on an upcoming episode. That's the word I was looking for. Episode of Pugliese Speed Shop, where it will be running. It will be ridiculously buffed out because that's what he does. Put some lights on it and just make it even cooler than it already is, huh?
That's the plan.
So until then, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, tell a friend, and as always, thanks for watching, guys.